Well, I think spring is really here. I hear the birds tweeting, and our perennials are starting to really come up in the front flower bed. So we're, looking forward to a good summer the way it's starting. This is our big Chinese poppy, and I don't see any buds yet, but oh, yes, I do. Look at there.
Well, that won't be long. Next week, probably.
Yeah, and then here's our lavender. So we're going to have a good bunch of lavender to put in our tea.
All right.
Well, we're starting to get this area ready for summer. This is our little patio area. As you can see, our winter jasmine is just going crazy. I'm going to have to do a little pruning on it. Of course, it's done blooming. And we had some maintenance guys come and work on cleaning the pond this year. And I'm glad we did. They did a really good job. They did talk me into reducing the number of plants. Yeah. So I've got a bunch of plants over here. Anybody's close enough by that would like some plants for a pond? Well, I think probably some of them are looking kind of sad.
Yeah, they've been sitting here for a couple days drying out.
But we do have some of the iris that, well, this one doesn't look too bad. It's still got some good leaves on it. These are all the plant pots that I didn't put back in.
Yeah, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 plants that did not go back into the pond.
I just can't throw a plant away.
I know it. I guess that's why I love you so much. Huh?
Okay, what have we got back here?
Now, these are just, the beds have been gotten ready, and we'll start planting into them soon. But this is the fourth bed.
Oh, this is in the third bed here. I've got some coconut things that I bought to do microgreens in and start seeds, and I did not like the way it worked. So I'm letting it get moist out here, and it will cover a pretty good area once it spreads out. This is our little spring bed.
Yep.
And here's our, got a blossom on our pea. And this is some greens. These dark ones were volunteers that just came up around the bed, so we transplanted them. So we're going to have some good greens to eat. I did plant some radishes, but for some reason the radishes aren't making, so I just pulled them up.
The tops are growing great, but not getting much for radish. Are there any chance that they're the radishes for the microgreens?
No, I don't think so. Okay. I think I planted regular radish, but I can't be sure of that.
Okay.
This is our dry bed, I call it, as we've talked about before, and
it's really coming along.
It's coming along good. We've got some stuff that's starting to bloom here. And I'll tell you, this choke cherry is taken off.
Yeah, it's well, it's going nuts.
Well, and the syringas are looking pretty good too.
Yeah, for sure.
And then down here, got another choke cherry, and I was noticing, it's not. It almost looks like it has a different leaf. I was
going to say it may be a choke cherry. It might be a different different subspecies or something like that.
Huh.
But you're right. The leaves are just enough different that a little bit wider than the leaves on this one.
And then I've got some volunteers coming up, so we might be able to spread some along here. That was kind of the original thought.
And here is the Egyptian walking onions. And we have been harvesting them, so they look kind of chopped up a little bit. But we've been eating off of them since the end of February. The first of the sprouts came up through the snow. So this is a patch thanks to my daughter-in-law, Tammy, in California. Started with 6 starts, and couple of years later, it's going crazy.
We've had some cold weather after the blossoms came on the fruit tree, and I don't know, it's hard to tell. But, oh, yeah, I think some of them are going to be okay. I think there's some little baby apples coming.
Yeah, let's get down here on the pear tree and see what it says. How about this apple tree? Yeah, this apple tree's got some fruit coming on, it looks like.
Yeah. The pear, we cut it back so hard. I don't know. I think there's some few little pears are going to be there.
Yeah, it'd be more than the one we got last year, that's for sure.
And our clematis back here is getting ready to bloom. So that'll be exciting. Greenhouse is pretty full right now. I redid some house plants and they're sitting in here kind of getting started again. And I've got another canna blooming. Our peppers from last year are doing quite good.
Yeah, I just had several of them for breakfast and they're incredibly good.
Here's tomato, peppers. These are our new little peppers. We've got cucumbers and squash. The dahlias, I had them outside for a while, but it was getting too cold for them. So here's some dahlias that I brought in. And they're needing to go outside. This one has reached the top of where it was. I'll set it down there. And I am so pleased with our tomatoes. They've got nice, sturdy stems, and they're starting to bloom.
Yeah, those stems are about as big around as your thumb. Yeah, they're really sturdy. Some of the best we've grown in a long time. I don't know what's different, but anyway, it's really great.
It's our greenhouse.
Ah, it's the greenhouse. Yes, that's it.
And then this is a Sweet 100 from last year that I wintered over, and it is starting to bloom.
It's got blooms all over the place. We should get the little tomatoes off of that pretty quick.
Yeah, I think we probably need to set it outside pretty soon too. But it does get some good sun right there. And
you can see we got some buckets of water that we transferred back here, and it's rainwater that we catch off of the roof of the house. We try to do most of our watering with that. But let's take a look at the raspberry patch.
Oh, we haven't.
That is stunning what's going on back there right now.
We did some real pruning back in here, not just to the raspberries, but we pruned our these clematis back real hard.
We cut that off almost even with the ground.
Well, this one was even with the ground. This one wasn't quite. They're two different varieties, and I'm going to see. I'm trying to figure out if they bloom on the new growth or last year's growth. And it looks like to me they're going to be blooming on the new growth. So we'll cut both of them back. We cut the raspberries back. I don't know if any of you remember from last fall, harder than we normally do. And it looks like they're responding great. Already we've got a lot of buds coming. I do have some stuff coming up low, and we'll have to come back in and cut those off again. But the thing that I'm really tickled about is I've never really been able to get the boysenberries and blackberries to bloom the way I would like them to. And we really cut them back. And as you can see, we've got nice blossoms. And then look at, oh, that's a raspberry, but look at this boysenberry. Look at all those blooms. We are getting some growth down here, but it's got buds on it, so I guess I won't cut it off quite yet. And then over here, this one had a problem, a little blight, So I cut it way back, and looks like it's going to survive.
Also, we had ropes supporting everything last year, and if you'll recall, one of the episodes last year, we replaced all the rope with wire, and that seems to be working very well, and we probably won't have to replace it in the near future.
Yeah. Yeah, our ropes were sagging after, I don't know, what, 15 years or so.
Well, that's it for this week, folks. Thank you so much for joining us.